Good afternoon, everyone. Welcome to our session 4, Building Personalized AI Study Agents for Exam Success. My name is Cindy, an instructor from the University Library. Today, we have 3 speakers sharing their AI-empowered use cases. I would like to thank the Microsoft AI Student Ambassadors Program for offering AI literacy training to our student speakers, which they can share their use cases with us today. And just in case there is some of you who couldn't attend the previous sessions, I want to mention for Hong Kong U students and staff how we can access Copilot and use GPT-5 with the Hong Kong U campus license. So if we are on the web version of your Outlook, there are a few ways that you can access Copilot. So number one is you look at the sidebar. So there's a button that you can access Copilot. Another way is you click the 9 dots to the top left corner, and then you will find Copilot. Or in those Microsoft Suite apps, there is also a Copilot button to the top right corner so that it will enable you to do the AI chat within Outlook or within other apps. For example, Word document, PowerPoint, or Excel, you can also find this button. So besides, if you are using the desktop app, for example, this is a screenshot of the Teams desktop apps that you can also find Copilot button to the left sidebar. Okay, so the advantages to use Copilot's chat is that we have free access with Hong Kong U subscription. We can easily access it via desktop or web apps, and we can use GPT-5. So if you land on this page, that to the top right corner that you can see try GPT-5. Besides, it also supports the uploads of images, files, and cloud files from OneDrive. And you can also keep chat history in the conversations in the menu bar. And besides, as you can see, in the sidebar, they also have agents, explore agents, create agents. So I'm sure that you might heard of AI agents a lot, but what it is, I think in these sessions, our speakers they will share the use case with you. This slide shows the rundown of today's session. Let me pass the mic to our speakers and I will let them to introduce themselves.
Hi guys, I'm CC Xinyu Guo, and I'm currently a year 1 BBA student. So I love to share how to create society and project content faster. So I know that this recently is like exam week, right? So I know the bloody November, and personally I suffer from it. And then Microsoft Copilot helped me so much during my like team projects, presentation slides, and everything else. So I really want to share this experience with all of you guys. So before that, a short video like introducing how to use Copilot and then basic information about Copilot.
Microsoft 365 Copilot Chat brings everything together in one place, right in your flow of work. Whether you're looking for the latest industry updates, summarizing research, or learning about a new topic, Copilot Chat is by your side. Turn your Copilot Chat responses into editable artifacts with Copilot Pages. Designed for multiplayer AI collaboration, Pages let you create and refine quickly. Share AI insights with collaborators easily. And circulate content on Teams and Outlook with just a click. Need help with specific tasks? Transform the way you work with agents in Copilot Chat. Bring in an agent that specializes in what you need, from writing prompts to automating processes. Explore agent templates from Microsoft, like the Career Coach or Writing Coach. Use agents built by your organization, or easily create your own. Supercharge your workday with Microsoft 365 Copilot, the UI for AI.
Okay, so from the video, I think all of you guys actually get a brief glance of what is Microsoft 365 Copilot. It's basically an AI chat tool built specifically for work. It uses the latest AI models and data from the web to answer your questions, generate content and ideas, and find information. It also protects your data, so information from the chat conversation does not get exposed to the public. So just like Cindy introduced before, there are basically many ways, and then the two common ways to accept Copilot is through your mobile app or the webinar, which I recommend for students, maybe you can just use our school account to sign in with your Copilot, and then after that, the step 3 to get started with Copilot chat is basically you need to know how to write an effective prompt. So to get the best response, it's important to focus on some of the key elements when phrasing your Copilot prompts, and then you can continue the conversation with Copilot by asking follow-up questions as you would in a conversation. So as a student, we constantly create content like society event poster, group project slides, social media captions, and proposals for a competition or founding. So Copilots can actually take care of these heavy lifting, so we can spend more time thinking and brainstorming and less time formatting these stuffs. So before we actually started to run through it, and then I will showcase the demos, we should learn about how to write an effective prompt when talking to AI. So to get the best response, it's really important to focus on some of the key elements when phrasing your Copilot prompts. So we have 4 elements that all we need to take care of. The first one is context. Basically, it's why do you need it and who is involved. And then the second element is goal. So you need to talk to AI directly about what your responses, what responses do you want from Copilot, and then what's your main goal. And the third element is source. So which information sources or examples should Copilot use when they're generating your response. So basically, for example, if you are doing a group project that require data analysis, so when you meet something like this, you should basically cite your source when you are actually asking Copilot to generate the response with you. So maybe you can just reference to a database, so the response will be more effective, and then it will be basically more accurate if you actually reference your source. And the last element is expectations. So how should Copilot respond to best meet your expectations? So when we actually know the 4 important elements about how to write an effective prompt, let's just go into the most important part of today's. Basically, I will just showcase how Copilot can actually help with our daily lives, projects, and events. So for example, so now we're in a student society, and then we're hosting a coffee chat networking event. So the goal for me is to create a poster. The context is student society is hosting coffee chat networking event. The vibe should be warm, minimal, and student friendly. And the expectation is a clean, modern poster layout with warm, neutral colors, event details included, and visual suitable for sharing on IG stories. So here's your prompt, and then after you format your prompt properly, you're just going into the chat of M365 Copilot. So that's because the time today is not enough for me to weigh the response and everything. So basically, I generated before the presentation today just to boost the efficiency today. So as you see, I already asked the questions, and then the prompt is here. So that's what Copilot actually give me. So he said, here's the modern minimal poster designed for you coffee chat networking event. It uses warm neutral tones, clear topography, and the layout optimized for social media sharing. So you can see that it's actually really good. All the elements included, the time and everything. You can edit the time and then the specific name of our student society when you're doing that. So I think Copilot give me the answer in 40 seconds. So it really boosts the efficiency, because if we're gonna do the poster ourselves, at least we need 20 minutes or 30 minutes to do it. So we can use more time to brainstorm and then make the events more interesting instead of just formatting the thing by ourselves. And also Copilot asks us would you like to add a QR code for registration, include your society's logo, or customize the data and locations. So you can definitely like ask the follow-up questions. As you can see, like you can just click like add a QR code for registration, and then it will definitely like help you to add more details. So this is the first examples, and then let's just go to the second one. So after that, we're still in the coffee chat event, so you might want to do some marketing, right? So maybe one straightforward way is to do like an Instagram post. So you can also ask the Copilot to write the IG caption writing. So for this circumstances, our goal is basically to write a social media caption. And the context is the society is promoting the coffee chat to attract new students. And the expectation is 5 friendly captions, each under 20 words with optional emojis and a positive tone. So now let's just go back to Copilot. So at this point, you can see I already like asked the questions, and then what Copilot gives me is like here are 5 short, friendly Instagram captions for coffee chat events. For example, we can see meet, sip, and connect. Join us for a cozy coffee chat. So I think it's really like IG styles, and then it's definitely the tone that we want. So also like Copilot asked me, would you like to add some hashtag to make it like a more like Instagram and IG style? So I answered like add hashtags. So that this is like the final version that gives me like, you know, like coffee chat, student life, networking, campus vibes. And then you can definitely add more details about your specific event. So basically, these are 2 examples according like related to our student society and our daily events. So now let's more like get into like the academic parts. So for instance, we want to write like a group project slides for our finals. And then for instance, our goal is basically to create a PPT slide, and the context is a group presentation on how social media affects consumer behavior. And the expectation is a 6-slide presentation with slide titles, 3 to 4 bullet points per slide, and 1 suggested visual elements per slide. So let's go back to my Copilot. And then we can see I asked the questions before, and then that's like the response of Copilot. Here's your site for the influence of social media on consumer behavior. So we can see that the titles, the influence of social media on consumer behavior, all the bullet points included. And then so now we can actually try to download the site here. So you can see it's actually like really nice, like the format and everything. So the title here, like the influence of social media on consumer behavior. And then it's like 8 pages in total, which actually kind of fits my expectation of like 6 slides around, right? And then the content, let's see. So why social media matters in consumer behavior, you have all of the data. So if you want to input more like data, you can try to reference the specific database you want Copilot to look at and then generate for you. And then below that is like how social media shapes decisions. They have like several bullet points like that, and then you can definitely like just added it because Copilot is like linked to all of the Microsoft apps. For example, this is like the PPT, right? It also links to like Words, Excel, and everything else. So you can just add it in this app. And then we have like the psychology behind social media influences, real world examples like TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, and also like what this means for business and the consumer, and then like the conclusion. So you can see all in all, it's really like a very comprehensive PPT, and then you can just build up your content based on this general structure and then add more details. I think it definitely helps me a lot when I'm doing my like group project during like November. And then I think it really saves like basically at least like 50% of my like during PPT time. So hopefully this one will be effective for all of you guys. And then so that's basically the end of my presentations. So basically I shared about how Copilot helps you to create like posters, caption for student society events, and also like the presentations that we can use in our group projects. So we can see how Copilot generates all of these things in just 1 minute, like just 1 minute. So I think whether you are in society, a hall committee, doing a group project, or running a student event, Copilot basically saves time and lets you to focus on your idea. So that's the end of my sharing. Thanks for listening.
Thank you, Cici. I think it will help, especially like we have limited time, but multiple presentation, and we don't spend much. We don't want to spend much time like selecting appropriate template. That we can make use of Copilot to generate a template like that, and also like we try to fit in our contents, like our original contents. Okay, that's great. Thanks. Let's welcome Destiny.
So, my name is Destiny. I'm also a Microsoft Student Ambassador, and today I'll be sharing how you can build personalized study agents using M365 Copilot. Okay, so this is our agenda for today. I'll go through what AI agents are and why you should use AI agents for study support, and then I'll go through a demo and some prompting technique advices. So starting off, what AI agents? So specifically for the M365 Copilot that has already previously been mentioned. So these are just like other features in the Copilot chat that can help you automate your academic tasks and support learning, such as creating revision notes, generating practice quizzes, etc. So it's something that I do think everyone should kind of use because it's just very effective, and I'll move on to why you should use it. So first of all, I do think like having a personalized learning support is important because sometimes the feedback from your teachers or your professors take a lot of time. So this is a way to like just kind of get immediate feedback for your exercises and examples and know what you did wrong and kind of like track your learning progress as well. It's not supposed to replace professors or tutors or anything. It's just a way for you to like improve your own self-studying for exams. And then I think it's really helpful in like saving time because now you can like specify what web sources you want. So you don't have to spend time going onto the internet and searching, browsing through a lot of resources. You can just like get the information directly from your AI agent. And then if you're into research and analysis, it can definitely help doing that better. And then the final point for me is that of development of future work skills. This just means that a lot of companies nowadays automate their processes using AI agents. So if you kind of get a head start, it would be easier for you to be able to know how to make your AI agents and just like be compatible with the current workforce. Okay, now I'm going to move on to our demo, which it would be great if the people watching can also follow along. And yeah, so first things first, you'd want to log into the M365 Copilot using m365.cloud or Microsoft. And once everyone's logged into that, if you look at the left side, you're going to see a Create Agent button, and then you click on that. So when you click on that, you're faced with a screen, and I want to draw your attention to a couple of things. So first of all, the Copilot Studio. So I mentioned previously that businesses do make their own AI agents, and one way they do that is through Copilot Studio. So Copilot Studio is a Microsoft application where people can, it's little to no code, where people just make their own AI agents to automate workflow processes. And the one that you have in your M365 Copilot chat is a lightweight version, so it's not the full version. It's just like something easier that I think is open for students and university staff. So make sure you're on the describe tab because there's two ways to make an agent using M365 Copilot. You can describe, you can configure. I like to use both, but I always like to start with the describe tab and then put things that I forget or just make minor edits in the configure tab. And then also in the M365 Copilot chat, there are templates that you can use. So this demo, I'll focus on making your own AI agent from scratch. But if you just want to use a demo that's already been provided by Microsoft, you can try out one of the templates that they have over there as well. Okay, and the describe tab, why I like it is just like it's like having a conversation with the Copilot chat, and then you're asking, oh, like you're specifying details you want. So in my demo, I'm asking to act as a Python tutor for beginners and explain the concepts in simple language, provide code snippets, and suggest practice exercises. And it should also confirm my understanding before moving on to the next topic. And then it would reply and it would give you other prompts. Like next thing is asking, oh, what do you want the name to be? And it's suggesting Python beginner tutor. I'm like, no, I want it to be intro to Python tutor. And then you can see that it would be saved as the name you decided up there. And then now it's been updated and it's asking you for something else. And it's like, what specific topics would you want? What teaching approaches? And then I can move on to say it should focus on interactive learning with quizzes, because I do think that's one of the best ways to learn, to test yourself after each concept. And then it says step-by-step problem solving. And then one good thing about the describe feature is that it gives you the opportunity to be very specific on what you want. So the topics I want to cover, I can input it here, because it's also really good when you're prompting any Gen AI platform that you should be specific on what you want. So not just teach me Python. I specifically want to cover some topics, variables, loops, functions, data structures, file input, output. And then I'm saying after each explanation, to provide short coding exercises and check my understanding before moving on, use simple and real-world examples, simple language and real-world examples. And then one thing you can also do with the AI agents is to request that it adapts based on your progress and goals. So if it's too easy for you, you can always ask for more difficult examples, or if it's too hard, you can ask for easier examples. So you can use this AI agent to kind of adapt to what it is you want and your needs. So then it comes up and says the tutor will focus on interactive learning. And then the next thing I want to draw attention to is asking, do I want to add any publicly accessible websites as knowledge sources? So when making AI agents with M365 Copilot, you can add up to 4 public websites to restrict the knowledge base of your AI agent. I like to do this because there's so much on the internet these days and you never know what's actually true. And then as we can see that sometimes Gen AI models are not always correct. So this is a way to kind of like increase the accuracy, I would say. So if you have 3 specific sources you want the AI agent to draw for 3 sources that that are credible and verified, and then you can just add those website links to there, and then the AI model, when it goes to the web, will only draw from those 3 websites that you have included. And then I do have some website links. So I said restrict your web knowledge sources to these 3 URLs. The first one is just kind of like the Python developer documentation, and then the other 2 are just well-known Python tutorials. And one advice I would give when choosing URL web sources is that rather than picking a specific page, because I do understand that some people maybe you want it to focus on this particular concept, so this particular page in the website. Sometimes the AI agent, when you're making it, will not accept that specific page. So it's better to just choose the general web page that encompasses all these web pages that you would need. And that's like an easier way to do it. And that way you also don't need to add multiple web pages. It would just like search the whole website and kind of draw the particular information that's related to what you're asking it to do. So next, the Copilot chat, it just validates the knowledge sources, and then it's asking if there are any modifications you want to add, additional, but I think I'm all good. So I will move on to the configure tab. So like I said, you don't need to do both. Ideally you do both, but sometimes if you just want to focus on the describe, or if it's just easy for you, don't want to go to the configure, or you just straight up want to do the configure, these are options that are available for you to choose. So I go to the configure tab to just kind of make sure that all the information that's been gotten from our describe function and like the chat is correct. And this is an opportunity to change it and kind of tailor it to exactly what you want. So as you can see, the name is there. Sometimes I like to add a picture. If you look over to the side, and this is my other AI agent, there's like a cheeky little folder. So you can add PNG photos as well to kind of like personalize your agent, make it yours. But I wouldn't do any for this demo. And then the description. So actually, the description doesn't really affect the functionality of your AI agent. It's just for the purpose that sometimes ideally you can share these AI agents, and it's just for when someone else is using it, so they understand what this AI agent is for. So but I would want to go to the instructions. So there's a bunch of things that is gotten from our describe conversation. So, and let's focus on the bottom part where it says maintain a supportive and approachable tone throughout interactions. Perhaps I don't want a supportive and approachable tone. I want like a friendly tone. I can always just change that into maintain a supportive and friendly tone throughout our interactions. And in the instructions, you can change some keywords. So where it says like maybe suggest, you can make it compulsory. It shouldn't always suggest, it should always give. And you can do stuff like that to just like tailor it to make sure it actually suits your functionality. So I guess in making an AI agent, one thing that's really important is that you kind of have to know what it is you want. So if you don't know what you want, there's no way you can make an AI agent to solve a problem for you. So you need to know what your problem is and what exactly you want to achieve with the AI agent. So moving on, if you scroll to the bottom in the same configure tab, you see knowledge. And then if you look at websites, you can see those 3 websites I added. So there's a toggle button over there that says only use specified sources. So while the AI agent will primarily go through those 3 websites, it's also free to search other places of the web. But let's say I don't want that. I wanted to only use those 3 sources. So I'll just like click on that to only use those 3 website sources that I've put, and it's going to restrict the whole scope of the AI agent when it's going to using the web. And then if we scroll more to the bottom, you can see where it says capabilities. So the create documents, charts, and code, as the previous speaker already mentioned, that your Copilot has access to all the Microsoft apps. So let's say you want to create Word documents, Excel sheets, PowerPoint presentations. Your AI agent is also capable of doing that to also assist your learning. And then create images. So yes, your AI agents can also create visual aids to respond to your prompts and to assist your learning. So I like to just make sure those 2 buttons are on as well. Just for because some people are visual learners, sometimes you kind of need to see a picture of what it is you're doing. So moving on, there is suggested prompts. So kind of like the description, this one doesn't really affect the functionality of your AI agent. It's when it's being shared, and so the new user kind of knows what kind of prompts to use in the to use for the AI agent. And you can change this to suit exactly what you want, but this works for me because it kind of covers the core concepts of Python. So if we move to the right of your screen, you're gonna see agent preview. So one important thing about creating agents, it's always necessary to kind of test out your agents before you finish the creation process, because you just want to make sure it achieves the goal you created for. You don't want an agent that kind of doesn't exactly do what you want. So the agent preview kind of gives you an opportunity to test the chat, and if there's anything you don't like, you can always just go back and re-edit it. So we're gonna start with a not so good prompt, but just for testing, we're gonna say explain the concepts of loops, and then our intro to Python tutor is gonna explain it, gives me an example, and then ask at the bottom, would you like a small exercise, or would you want to learn about nested loops or how to break out of them and stuff like that? And then I can be like, give an interactive challenge with loops, and then it does that. And another thing is when you're done, when your AI agent kind of works for you, you can click on the create button right there, and then your agent has been successfully created. This agent is private, only available to you, and then you can click on go to agent. And that's basically how you can just create an agent. It's really easy, no code involved, and I feel like everyone can do it because I did it. So next on, I will move on to some prompting techniques and advice. So this is our agent we've created. You can see it in the tab. Initially, I only had my previous agent there, but now I have like 2 of the agents there. And then it says intro to Python tutor. It looks like our normal Copilot chat if you use M365 Copilot. So I know a problem that some students, or a question rather, that some students have is that they don't want to use websites. They rather just use the lecture notes and the materials provided by the professor, but they don't have access to that. So like most of the Gen AI models, I believe you can upload your files and your lecture notes in the chat directly. And if personally, why I like M365 Copilot is perhaps like I store a lot of my lecture notes in my OneDrive folder, so I don't need to manually upload these things from my computer time and time again. And your intro to Python agent is something that you can upload everything at once, all your lecture notes, and then just continue to use it with these materials already uploaded. And you don't need to like create a new tab and re-upload it every single time. So first of all, we have like the plus button where you can add word content, upload images, or attach cloud files. So I would suggest that, like the previous person mentioned, you should always like kind of include a source. So not just the websites, maybe the lecture notes from your professor that you also want to make reference to. Yeah. So okay, one trick I like to use when including multiple sources is just, it's not really a trick, it's just when I have it saved on OneDrive and I just like backslash and type the file name and then it already comes up because it can search your whole OneDrive folder. So I have a file called Python tutorial and I just backslash Python and you can see over there that it's Python tutorial and I just click on that and that will already be like attached in my prompt. So I'm saying use Python tutorial and sources from the web. So remember, the sources from the web that the AI agent is going to go to is the ones in the 3 websites that I have restricted it to. And then I'm saying explain classes. And then it's like, sure, beginner friendly explanation of classes in Python. And then it's what's a class. And then at the bottom, when you scroll from the prompt, it gives you like a practice exercise as well, which is exactly what I instructed to do, to always give practice exercise after every concept. So we can see that the AI agent does follow my request, and this is something that is really helpful if you want to like have a lot of exercises to kind of practice on a particular subject or a particular topic. And then you can also upload some like sample material for it to like generate these style of questions in the practice exercises and just keep using the AI agent, because the more you use it, the more kind of like fine-tune it gets more tailored to suit you and your study compared to when you first created it. So if you continue to use it at some point, it will get really efficient for you. And just final prompting advice. So I will say one key thing about, it's not always that the longest prompt gets the best result. It's always like having your specific details. So just like creating the AI agent, when you're prompting, kind of need to know what it is you have, because if you don't know, if you're very vague with it, the AI model is also not going to know what it is you want, and then it's gonna give you like a really bad answer, or it's not gonna be up to speed, or you're just gonna be really disappointed with the work. So oftentimes the result depends on your ability to prompt. And as a student using a study AI agent, I will say that it's your responsibility to kind of like check your progress. So if you get these practice exercises and they're too easy, then you should say, oh, these are too easy, increase the difficulty, make it a bit more intermediate level or advanced level. Or if these are too hard that you can't do it, then you should be like, make it easier, make it more beginner level friendly. And sometimes it's just like when the teacher gives you practice exercises in class, it's your responsibility, if you want to really improve in that subject, to try these practice exercises. So after the AI agent kind of explains the concept to you, then it's now the ball is in your court to actually try this practice exercise. If you need more, you need to say that you do want more. You kind of want to see what other things, what other type of examples, real life examples, ask for visual aids, summaries, diagrams, because the M365 Copilot is actually capable of a lot of things, and it's free for all students to use, so everyone has access to it. So it's your responsibility to just kind of ask for as much as possible, everything more, because it's like you don't have to go back and forth with the professor. You can ask the professor for some advice, and then this is like immediate like feedback and response. So I would say that everything with prompting and using your AI agent is also part of your responsibility. The AI agent is not automatically gonna make you so much smarter or just remove the role of teachers or lecturers and professors. It's meant to be like a study aid for when you're doing self-studying so you can be more efficient and save more time when studying. So that is the end of my session. Thank you very much. If you have any questions, please feel free to put it in the Q&A box. Thank you.
Thanks, Destiny. You can drop your question in the Q&A box, or later in the Q&A section, you can like click the raised hand button that I can unmute you so that you can speak in this room. And I think that's pretty nice, like how you can create or design your own AI agent as a study aid. And I'd like to remind you that all the functions of M365 Copilot, our presenter is showing you right now, that you can also enjoy it with the Hong Kong U Campus license. So try to spend some time and explore it. Okay, so next I would like to invite Ethan. Thank you. It's your time. Do remember to unmute yourself.
Yo, can you see?
Yes, please.
Okay. Yo, what's up, everyone? So I'm Ethan, and I'm currently a year one student studying arts and engineering and data science and AI. So I'm a dual degree. So before we get into it, let me talk about like your student account actually gives you a ton of benefits. So this includes like GitHub Student Developer Pack, which is like really useful for those that are studying in tech. Like anything that requires coding and stuff, you must get GitHub. And also you can have GitHub Pro basically your entire student career. You can also get free Notion Pro for those that use Notion, $100 of Azure Cloud credits, and also I think this is like the most useful, Microsoft Office 365 apps, and also M365 Copilot. So you can look at more of these free resources at this link. So let me talk about the differences of Copilots because there are different versions of it. And here's like a little chart. You can see like Copilot, Copilot Chat, and M365 Copilot. So obviously like use M365 Copilot because our school like provides it, right? So it gives you a lot more like features and stuff. So prompt engineering, CC's kind of already talked about that, so I'm gonna like really briefly say it. Like it's the GCSE method, the goal, context, the source, and the expectations. So, one of the examples would be this to generate exam style questions for a programming course. And then this the source, and then finally what you want the AI to generate. So, I mean, I kind of like using this prompt. I'll show you here. This is like a really detailed prompt. It's basically for really detailed stuff that you need, like researching or stuff like that. You can just definitely, you can ask me to get it later if you want, but I like using this prompt a lot. And so creating custom AI agent, Destiny's kind of talked about that, but there are other uses of it as well that I really like to use. So first it's the making quiz questions. Destiny's kind of did that as well, but I'll just do a live demo right now. So you just want to go to m365.cloud.microsoft and you just want to click create agent. And you just want like a good prompt. I just used this really simple one because I'm just doing a little demo. But I just basically type into it and it'll basically configure everything. So after that, we can just click create. Actually, you can go configure as well. I'll just name this test. And you can select whether you want to search websites or only use the sources that you provided. And also these capabilities as well. So you can just click create it. Um, It might take a while, but okay. Now you go to the agent. You can basically like upload stuff, like maybe this one, and I'll say like generate a quiz. Okay, never mind. Let me like uh um, wait a second. Sorry. Okay. So basically it'll like based off your prompt or like the document that you use, it'll create like questions that you ask it to. So for example, for me, I asked it to create 4 MCs and short questions and like finally a long question, like a coding exercise. So if you want like more specific stuff, then you should like definitely specify in your prompt and make your prompt as detailed as possible because prompting is like the most important thing basically when using an AI. So definitely you must like have like a really specific prompt. So the next thing I want to talk about is mind maps. Mind maps are pretty useful, I think. They like map out your structure. And there are two types, visual and mermaid. So visuals are like the normal ones, and then the mermaid are like these crazy looking ones, but like they like they map your topic really in detail. So you can see like, oh, I finished this topic or this topic already. So yeah, let's do like a live demo of that as well. So you can just go chat and I already have like a prompt for this, but of course you can use yours. Okay, so now it's done. I can just add like the stuff that I want. Like for example, this document that I'm learning. Then it'll create like a really detailed like tree. And then you can see like, oh, all the subtopics that you need to learn. And then see whether or not you're familiar with that topic. So it's really good for like mapping out what type of things you need to learn later on. And um and you can also make these visual mind maps for like this random mind map on frogs, but it'll take a while, so I won't be live demoing here. But you can just basically ask it to you can ask Copilot to just write you I mean just to generate a visual mind map and it'll generate something like this. So finally, flashcards. I feel like flashcards is the holy grail of studying. I use flashcards for basically everything except like coding and math. But flashcards are really important for like memorization stuff because it uses spaced repetition and active recall. So spaced repetition is basically reviewing this info at like increasing intervals. So it like promotes long-term retention. So it uses this learning curve, like forgetting curve. So the first few days when you learn it, it like your memorization drops a lot. But then as you review it more and more, and you can space out even more, it becomes your long-term memory. And a flashcard app that I really like to use is Anki. I don't know if you guys heard of it before, but um, it's a really good app because it uses like a math algorithm to help you calculate your forgetting curve. So I'll just show you how to make your flashcards in Copilot. So what I like to do is create a new agent. I actually use this myself as well. Um, so I have this really detailed flashcard prompt. Just copy it. This really detailed flashcard prompt, and I'll just paste it into the create agent. And you can see there's like character limits. So you can like space them out. You space them out a bit. Like and then you can keep pasting it just Okay, so I'll just wait for it to like generate. So it might take a while, but I'll just configure it right now. And for this one, we want to use specified sources because like you're using flashcards for your own documents. You don't want like irrelevant info to pop up. So I'll tick only use specified sources. And also make sure to tick create documents because then it can't help you generate a file. So then you can directly import into Anki. So you can also tick this. And also if you like always use like a certain prompt, you can just make like a template right here. So then you can always like click on this whenever you use this agent. So it might take a while. Oh, it's failed. Um so sometimes like Copilot doesn't really work. Like but just wait a second. Okay, well, it's fine. Let me just like it's fine, it's fine. I actually made one before. I tested this before. It's like the same exact prompt, but since we don't have much time, I'll just not wait for the agent to create. So basically, after you created it, you can just ask it to create flashcards. And for example, you want to do this one. So after you get this prompt, it'll ask you like how many like specified instructions. Like let's say like I want 20 flashcards. Oh, sorry, I'm lagging. So just give it like a moment and it'll start generating like your flashcards. So as you can see, it created like a instantly downloadable file. So you don't have to like do any intermediate steps. You just click on it, instantly downloads. And then once you have the Anki app right here, I'll just show you right now. You can just click import and then just the file just now, and then click the field separator to comma, and you can choose which deck you want to put it in. So I'll just do test. So at last you can see there's 21 new cards here. And you can see like it works perfectly. So you can use flashcards and then click again, hard, good, easy. And then yeah, that's basically it. Flashcards, they're really useful. They like help you actively recall the information. So I think this is one of like a niche case of using Copilot, but I think it's quite useful because it actually helps you generate the file directly. And I see like some other like chatbots, they don't really generate the full file, so you have to download Python yourself and run the file and stuff. But for like Copilot, you can instantly download the file. So I think that's a really good use case. And yeah, that's basically my presentation. Thank you guys for listening. And if you want to message me, feel free to do so here. And yeah.
Okay, so although some speaker also mentioned some of them, I would like to make a summary of that. So first, critically evaluate the input that generated by AI, no matter which kind of AI tools, and then keep human in the loop. So we use AI as an assistant. So we use it to generate something, for example, like to brainstorm idea with us, or to generate the IG captions for us when we want to promote something, right? Like keep it as your assistant and do not replace your own critical thinking. And about the disclosure of AI use, if you're going to use it for your academic assignments, I think this is the part that you need to consult your instructors and professors to see how they can like accept the use, different levels of use of Gen AIs in your classroom. And then protect privacy and the confidential part of your input. Because for different AI tools or digital tools, they have different terms and conditions to protect your private data. This series will provide different usage or different use case of different AI tools because this is under, for example, the Copilot or the Microsoft Suite. This is under the campus license, so it kind of like can protect your privacy, or at least they promised in our campus license. So I think you can like maximize the use of what you have right now. And then academic integrity, do not replace your own effort or compromise academic integrity when you use AI. And also effective prompting, we highlighted in these sessions a lot. So I think it's about like how you communicate with AI, how you like what you want the AI can do or can help